Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to Hilaal Live. Now, we do know the conflict in Gaza still continues. And often enough, we ask ourselves, what can we do? What can we do to make a difference? Well, we've now linking up with an individual, and let me rephrase that, an awesome individual who is attempting a 760-kilometer run over the next 2 months to raise much needed funds for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Joining us via Zoom is Brother Abdul Aleem Gamza. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Are you well?
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I'm good, alhamdulillah. And how are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks. Lovely to link up with you. I've been trying to set up this interview for a while because I think it's such an awesome initiative. Like so many other individuals in South Africa and some parts of the world that have taken up the fight to raise much needed funds for our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Now, you are going to attempt a 760-kilometer run over the next 2 months to raise funds. Tell us about this initiative. How did you get started?
Look, mine, the run started on the 1st of November. So we're basically in terms of time, we are halfway there. Alhamdulillah, we have surpassed the halfway mark in terms of kilometers. We well exceeded that. We are ahead of schedule. And this initiative is based on 76 years of, basically of the Israelis being inside of Palestine, of land occupation, displacement of people, happening over 76 years. So that is how we got to 760 kilometers. And the idea is to raise 1 million rand to assist our brothers and sisters in Palestine and in Gaza more specifically. But the important thing here is that it's working in conjunction with African Muslims Agency. They are doing fantastic work on the ground, inside of Gaza, inside of Palestine. And it's like a match made for us to be able to work together. So that is basically the kind of motivation to do this.
Alhamdulillah. So tell us about the 760 kilometers. How are you dividing that? Is it day by day? Is it over weekends? I mean, you must be really fit to run 760. I don't know if my car can even do that at some times.
Alhamdulillah. Look, man, as I said, on average, if you worked it out from the 1st of November until the 31st of December, when we'll conclude, inshallah. And hoping that Hilaal TV will be there to televise the conclusion of that. But yeah, it's about 12 and a half kilometers per day. So some days I run a little bit more, and some days I run a little bit less. But the idea is, and I've told you, I'm ahead of schedule by about 50 kilometers ahead of schedule. So I've covered a little bit more in distance because I build in the days now for more rest days, so that my body can try and recover over those days. Because 12 and a half kilometers per day sounds like it's not much. But the body does, and because I run in different terrains as well, in terms of flat surfaces, hilly surfaces, and that does impact on the body. But alhamdulillah, so far so good. I've got a great support team in terms of my family. I've got a great support team in terms of AMA as well, in terms of how they supported and publicized this. And so it's really been good, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. With AMA being on the ground and, seeing to the day-to-day needs of our brothers and sisters in Palestine, what's been some of the reports that is coming from Gaza?
Look, I'm going to take one step back in terms of this discussion. And my aim really is to raise funds for those children who have been, lost limbs over this period of time. And subhanAllah, I've had video footage with regards to this in terms of the work that is being done on the ground inside of Palestine. And we came across a young man in hospital. He's lost his legs. And now we can imagine that we are sitting here inside of South Africa. We are going into school holiday mode. Our children, what do we want for them? We want them to have a good school holiday. We want them to be able to kick a ball. We want them to be able to play games. And then just last night, I came across another video, and this young man says, close your eyes. And maybe we should do that. Close our eyes and imagine the following. We imagine that we hear bombs raining down upon us. And we close our eyes and we think about our parents having been killed in this bombardment. And then we close our eyes and we think that this bombardment has removed my arms and my legs from me. And we close our eyes and we think that in hospital, there is no mommy and there's no daddy to come and see to me. There are strangers who are looking after me. So the idea really is for us to start thinking differently about what is happening inside of Gaza. When we think about the future of the world and the future of society, it's not about whether you are Muslim or non-Muslim. It's about whether you are humanitarian at heart, whether you understand what is taking place inside of Gaza and the impact that it's had on the livelihoods and the futures of so many individuals. Subhanallah. And again, it is for me, that has been the driving force about it. I cannot, and I say this on behalf of many people, we cannot stand by and watch the future, watch our kids going forward, having lost their limbs, without us having to try and do something to give them some level of prosthesis so that they can have an arm and a leg, to be able to at least move around and to be able to be mobile.
Absolutely.
To be able to live a dream.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
when we look again, at the report cards coming out, Luqman, this week coming, the report cards will be handed out to our children when they're in school. They pass, mashallah. Some of them have received great results. What report card is there for the child in Gaza? What report card is there for the child in Gaza to show to his parents? Subhanallah. And these are the things that we need to think about. It's not an emotive decision. It's not playing on the emotions of any individual. More importantly, it's playing on the humanity of every single being that is watching this video and making a decision whether I should or I shouldn't be giving, and how much I should be giving. That is the question that we should be asking. And we're going into a period.
Of course.
When we know in South Africa.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Shukran so much, Brother Abdul Aleem. Before the interview concludes, how do our audience, how do they get involved? How can they contribute? We're trying to raise R1 million, inshallah. What are the best methods to do that?
Well, you can go onto the AMA website and you can look for the letter R and the number 4 and Gaza. You can make a contribution. So you find the banking details and you go R for Gaza and you make a contribution towards that. Before we conclude this conversation, I want to say to everybody that we are going into a season that is known as festive season. We've come out of a period called Black Friday, where there's been so many specials that has been on offer, and we've shared this information across our families to tell them, go to this store, go to that store, make sure that you are available to reap the benefits of this particular special. Here's an opportunity that our Creator, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, has given us to be able to make a contribution and change the lives not only of those people inside of Gaza, but to change our own lives, to change our lives not in this world, but in the year after as well. So we have this gilt-edged opportunity, an investment of a lifetime, where people will make dua for us, whether they know us or whether they don't know us. Inshallah. And that is what we want.
Abdul Aleem, may Allah bless you. May Allah bless your efforts. And may Allah bless the team of AMA for allowing this campaign to happen, and to also remind us constantly of what's happening in Palestine, and more importantly in Gaza, that we all need to be aware of. In closing, any last message that you would like to leave our audience with?
I want to say to everybody, you can watch the social media pages, especially of AMA. They'll tell you where I'll be running. But if you'd like to invite me to run alongside you, I'll do that as well. This coming weekend, a family has invited me in Cape Town to run alongside them to cover some kilometers. So imagine how valuable that is, right? That's the one thing. The second thing is, I will be in Johannesburg on Wednesday morning. Early morning run. If anybody wants, I'll be staying in the Sandton area. You can reach out to me. We can go for a run together, and you can be part of this run for Gaza. To be part of that. So those are the kinds of things, initiatives that we are looking at, so we can get families and communities together. Because when we look at Gaza and Palestine, families have been decimated, communities have been destroyed, and hope is almost non-existent. We have this opportunity to create hope for families and communities inside of Gaza.
Well, it's just, if you live in Insanton, Rivonia is where our studios are, 4.6 kilometers just down the road. Please make a turn, take a picture outside our studios at Telemedia House, and we'll definitely post that on our socials as well, inshallah. Brother Abdul Aleem, it's such a great initiative, and I like the fact that you encourage people to run with you, to be part of this as well. And I think with the holidays now looming as well, people are going to be at home, maybe kids at home, maybe gather a family together and boost this initiative and give it the much needed boost that it requires as well. To your team as well, the family I know puts up with quite a lot when it comes to campaigns like this, and wishing them well over the festive season. We look forward to linking up with you again soon, inshallah.
Inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam. Brother Abdul Aleem Gamza, who is attempting to run 760 kilometers. That's in commemoration of the 76 years of occupation in Gaza by Israel as well. So if you'd like to be part of this, please go ahead and contribute via the AMA website so that you can contribute much needed funds so that those funds can be utilized to purchase items that are needed in Palestine and in Gaza. That's all that we have for you from the Cape Town team, Sohail Barnes, Mohammed Parker and myself, Luqman Shadrack. Wish you a great weekend. Assalamu alaikum.